of which 1.5 million are level 1 families of CISBEN, 306,000 families in displaced families, and 8,000 indigenous families. From December last year to April this year, we have covered 576,000 more families, having a total in April of about 2 million families of CISBEN 1, 375,000 families that are displaced, and 35,000 indigenous for 1,007,000. Right now we have 2.6 million families, and we're covering all the municipalities in Colombia. How do we select beneficiaries? This is not at random. The state is synchronized to do this in order to serve the families. For level 1, we use the tool the state has for poor families, managing by the National Planning Department, such as CISBEN, which is the identification system which identifies all the programs and the poorest families that require the attention of these programs of the state. The displaced population through the CIPOT. This is an information system managed by Acción Social, where all the displaced families register themselves, they tell their stories, they enter their data, and we check and see if they are displaced people or not. Once they are in the CIPOT, they are assisted. For indigenous communities, we use the Indigenous Center. These are databases that the Ministry of the Interior has, and then when we're going to serve the indigenous population, we validate this with the population, with the indigenous governors, and with their cabildos. They are the ones who validate the families that are going to join this program, Familias en Acción. What are the two subsidies? We have two different subsidies, a nutritional subsidy and educational subsidy. The nutritional is a subsidy to improve the feeding of the children during their growing stage in their early childhood from 0 to 7 years of age. This is handed out to families having children in those ages from 0 to 7, and one subsidy is given per family regardless of the number of children, and this eliminates the risk or the trick of procreation, massive procreation, that was studied at the DNP at the beginning, because the only way to control that at the DNP, and they really worked hard on this topic, and they were only granting one subsidy per family. So we give them about $24 per month, paid bi-monthly, and it is paid throughout the 12 months of the year. What is the commitment for the delivery of this money? That the mothers take their children to nutritional control, size and growth control established by the Ministry of Health. The school subsidies to incentivize school attendance and reducing lack of attendance or school desertion of children between 0 to 18 years of age, so from the 2nd elementary school up to 11th grade. And this is handed out per each child at school that is attending school, and it's delivered for 10 months. Why 10 months? Because in Colombia we only go to school for 10 months. We have 2 months vacations and the rest is school time, so that's why we only cover 10 months. The school subsidy is handed over for elementary, $7, and for high school we have and the way it is delivered, if the mothers bring their children to study, or they bring the children at least to attend at least 80% of the classes. For large cities, we have a different subsidy, because we have seen that for the largest cities, the effect in primary education, it doesn't have that much impact. Desertion in large cities is not too high. Desertion can be seen in high school grades. This is why we made a difference, and this is why we have placed more emphasis on the high school subsidies. For Bogota, we hand out graduation bonuses. because the largest program is between 9th and 10th grade and for graduation, because kids leave the schools before they graduate, well, because of the situations that occur in the large cities. How do we check on the commitments? We have three modalities. In larger cities, electronically, we give each family a card. And every time they bring the child to school, they pass the school at the school or at the hospital, and this is entered into the database, and we pay them in Bogota automatically. In other smaller cities, we do these through what we call the raspa cards, and this is given to the hospitals and the schools. And when they bring their children to school and to hospital, they give these cards to the mother, they come to the municipality, they give them a number, and we enter them in the system. Okay, we only have 2 more minutes. The program is financed through national resources and external credit. We have moved about $1,500 million to serve subsidies of this program. How are they paid? These subsidies, they were paid through a bank draft, direct payment to the families with agreements with the main 7 banks. These agreements were completed last year, and they were covered with national resources. There were a lot of needs or difficulties because we had long lines in the banks, and there was a big jam in the banks since payments were per days. Some others did not receive their payments, and they had to massively go to other municipalities to collect their money, and all the problems that they had in the national ministry because of the non-collected money. So thanks to the new panorama that we have for the financial system, and that the national government wants poor families to access the financial system and eliminate this drop payment. We made the decision, and the banking commissions should be covered by multilateral banking, so we decided to hire the subsidy payment service. And for that, what we did was that we had a public international bidding, and we required for the payment of the subsidy and the bank access. What are the benefits of bank accessing? They have a lack of congestion. We optimize the operation of the program. We eliminate reintegrations, we generate savings, there is no incidents, better life conditions in the municipalities and the families, and we try to seek legality, not informality. Dr. Gomez, I think your time is over. So basically, to finish, public bid was awarded to Hacienda Banagraria. Those were the brave people who dared to offer these service of bancarization and payment throughout the national territory at 100%. Of the families, this was a joint work between Banca de Oportunidades, the Inter-American Bank of Development, and the World Bank. And thanks to them, we were able to do this process and complete it successfully. And we hope that the families will be all with a banking access by December this year. So that is the goal set by us and that we're going to achieve. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the panelists. With this last intervention, we finished this last cycle of the session, and now we will begin our question and answer session. If someone wants to ask a question or make a comment to our panelists, please write it down on a piece of paper and hand it over to the organizers of the event, who will collect them.
Very good. I would like to thank the organizers